History usually remembers civilizations because they left behind kings. Egypt gave us the pharaohs, Mesopotamia gave us mighty emperors, China gave us powerful dynasties. But today we are entering a civilization that left behind something even more mysterious, a civilization with cities but no known kings, a civilization with millions of bricks but not a single readable book, a civilization where every house had better sanitation than many cities thousands of years later. And then, almost overnight, it disappeared. No massive war, no burning palaces, no dramatic invasion recorded. It simply faded away. Welcome to one of the history's greatest unsolved mysteries, the Indus Valley Civilization. The year is around 2600 BCE. Let's pretend you're flying high above northwestern India. Below you flows a mighty river, the Indus. Its branches spread across vast fertile lands. As you descend, you expect to see small farming villages. Instead, you see something unbelievable perfectly planned cities, straight roads, brick houses, covered drainage systems, public wells, warehouses, workshops, bustling markets. This is not the beginning of civilization. This is civilization already perfected. Today we call it the Harappan civilization, named after the first site discovered Harappa, now in Pakistan. But Harappa was not alone. Soon archaeologists discovered Mohenjo-daro, Dholavira, Lothal, Kalibangan, Rakhighari, Banavali and hundreds of other settlements. Together, they formed one of the world's largest Bronze Age civilizations, stretching over nearly 12 lakh square kilometers, larger than Egypt, larger than Mesopotamia. This was not one city, it was an entire civilization connected by ideas. But here is the first mystery. Who planned these cities? There are no giant royal palaces, no grand statues of kings, no inscriptions praising rulers. Yet every city follows almost the same blueprint. Somebody or something was maintaining incredible order. Let's walk into Mohenjo-daro. The first thing you notice is discipline. The roads meet each other at right angles, wide streets, smaller lanes, everything arranged like a modern city map. Urban planning was not an accident, it was a science. The city has two parts the citadel, built on a raised platform, and the lower town, where most people lived. Think of the citadel as an administrative and public zone, not necessarily where kings lived, because we still haven't found evidence of palaces. Inside the citadel stood one of the greatest engineering marvels of ancient history, the Great Bath. A large waterproof tank built with baked bricks, staircases on both sides, sophisticated water drainage. Imagine constructing a leak proof swimming pool 4,500 years ago. Why? Nobody knows for certain. Many historians believe it was used for ritual purification. Even today, water plays a sacred role in Indian traditions. Some ideas survive for thousands of years. Now step into an ordinary Harappan house. Surprise! It has bathroom and not just one house, thousands of houses, each connected to covered underground drains. Wastewater flowed into carefully designed sewage systems. Think about that. Many medieval cities lacked such sanitation. Yet the Harappans mastered it over 4 millennia ago. Every time you hear the phrase smart city, remember India built one 4,500 years ago. But cities cannot survive without food. So, where did it come from? Travel beyond the city walls. You will find fertile fields nourished by rivers. The Harappans cultivated wheat, barley, peas, sesame, mustard, dates, and in some regions, rice. But one crop changed the world history cotton. The Harappans were among the earliest people to grow cotton. Long before cotton shirts became common across the world, Harappan farmers were already cultivating it. Agriculture was not random. Floodwaters deposited fresh fertile soil every year. Nature itself rewarded the land. Farmers understood seasons, stored grains, used granaries. Some sites even show evidence of plowed fields. At Kalibangan, archaeologists discovered ancient furrows, proof that agriculture was systematic. But farming alone could not support such large cities. Trade became their lifeline. Picture a busy Harappan marketplace, jewelers polishing beads, potters shaping clay, Metal workers melting bronze, merchants bargaining, bullock carts arriving with grain, boats waiting at ports. This civilization was not isolated, it was globally connected. One of the greatest discoveries is Lothal in Gujarat. Here, archaeologists found what many believe was a dockyard. Ships may have sailed from here into the Arabian Sea. Imagine standing at Lothal. Merchants load goods onto wooden boats, cotton textiles, beads, copper tools, shell ornaments. These ships travel hundreds of kilometers, reaching Mesopotamia. In Mesopotamian records, a mysterious land called Meluha appears. Most historians believe Meluha was the Indus Valley civilization. Think about it. 4,500 years ago, Indian merchants were already participating in international trade. Trade needs trust. Trust needs standards. So the Harappans created one of the history's most remarkable systems, standardized weights and measures. Tiny stone cubes, perfectly cut, uniform across hundreds of cities. Whether you bought grain in Harappa or beads in Dholavira, the measurements remained the same. Imagine modern India without kilograms or liters. Every shop using different measurements. Trade would collapse. The Harappans solved this problem thousands of years ago. Now enter a craftsman's workshop. The air glows orange. Bronze melts inside furnaces. Nearby, women shape beautiful pottery. Jewelers drill tiny holes into beads so perfectly. Even modern craftsmen admire their precision. Shell bracelets, gold ornaments, copper tools, faience beads, terracotta toys, stone sculptures. Every object reveals extraordinary craftsmanship. One small bronze statue became world famous, the dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro. Barely 11 centimeters tall, one hand on her hip, full of confidence. She doesn't look frozen in history, she looks alive. Nearby, another sculpture quietly sits, the famous priest king, or perhaps not a priest or not even a king. We simply don't know. That uncertainty makes Harappa even more fascinating. Now comes the greater mystery. The Harappans could write. Thousands of seals have been discovered. Each carries tiny symbols, animals, signs, patterns. Yet nobody has successfully deciphered them. Imagine finding thousands of WhatsApp messages without knowing the language. That's exactly where historians stand today. The Harappan script remains one of archaeology's biggest unsolved puzzles. Was it an early Dravidian language? Something entirely different? Nobody knows. Until someone cracks the code, Harappa will continue guarding many of its secrets. Let's meet the people themselves. What kind of society did they build? Surprisingly, there are no massive differences between houses. Some are larger, some smaller. But we don't find gigantic royal palaces. Extreme inequality seems less visible than in many contemporary civilizations. Farmers lived in brick houses, children played with terracotta toys, people wore ornaments. Both men and women decorated themselves. Life appears surprisingly organized, peaceful, disciplined. And what did they believe? Religion leaves clues, but not complete answers. Excavations reveal female figurines. Many historians associate them with a mother goddess representing fertility. A famous seal depicts a horned picture seated in a yogic posture. Some scholars connect this figure with a proto Shiva or Pashupati. Notice the word proto. It means an early possible form, not confirmed. Trees like the people seem sacred. Animals such as bulls, elephants, rhinoceros, and unicorn like figures frequently appear. Fire altars have been found at Kalibangan and Lothal. Nature clearly occupied an important place in Harappan belief systems. Now let's talk about their economy. Agriculture formed the foundation, animal husbandry strengthened it. Crafts created wealth, trade spread prosperity. Exactly what economists admire even today. No single activity supported the civilization. Everything was interconnected. Farmers depended on craftsmen, craftsmen depended on merchants, merchants depended on standardized administration. It was carefully balanced system. Speaking of animals, the Harappans domesticated many humped cattle, buffalo, sheep, goats, dogs, perhaps even elephants. Bullock carts became important for transport. Animals powered agriculture, supported trade, provided milk, pulled carts. Civilization moved because animals moved. Now let us witness something deeply human, a funeral. The Harappans buried many of their dead. Bodies were often laid in an extended position. Sometimes pottery, ornaments, or everyday objects accompanied them. Perhaps they believed life continued after death. Perhaps these were simply gifts of remembrance. Unlike Egypt, there were no gigantic pyramids, no mountains of treasure. Even in death, simplicity remained. Everything seems perfect: planned cities, prosperity, trade, agriculture, technology. So, why did this civilization disappear? Here begins history's greatest detective story. For many years, people believed foreign invaders destroyed Harappa. Today, that theory has largely lost support. Instead, historians see multiple reasons working together. Climate changed, monsoon weakened, rivers shifted their courses. The mighty Gagar-Hakra river system gradually dried, agriculture suffered, trade networks weakened, floods damaged some cities, earthquakes may have altered landscapes. As economic life became difficult, people slowly migrated eastwards towards the Ganga plains. Notice something important. Civilizations rarely collapse in one dramatic moment. Most decline slowly, like a tree drying branch by branch. Harappa did not vanish overnight. It transformed, its people adapted, moved, changed. History did not end, it simply entered a new chapter. Now pause for a second, look around your own city. Roads, drainages, standard measurements, markets, international trade, ports, agriculture supporting urban life. All these ideas existed in India 4,500 years ago. The Indus Valley civilization was not primitive. In many ways, it was astonishingly modern. For UPSC, remember the story, not isolated facts. Urban planning comes with grid pattern, citadel and lower town, covered drainage, great bath, granaries, standardized baked bricks. Agriculture, wheat, barley, cotton, flood-fed farming, Kalibangans plowed fields. Trade, internal and foreign trade, Lothal dockyard, trade with Mesopotamia with the name Meluha. Crafts include bronze, pottery, beadmaking, shellwork, terracotta toys. Weights and measures or uniform stone weights with standardization. Script is undeciphered, written on seals, still a mystery. Society, it's an organized urban life, relatively less visible inequality, skilled artisans, merchants, farmers. Moving to the religion, there is Mother Goddess, Pasupati seal, sacred trees, animal worship, and fire altars. Economy has agriculture, animal husbandry, craft production, and trade. Burial practices include extended burials, grave goods, simple practices. Decline may be caused by climate change, river shifts, weakening trade, environmental stress, gradual migration, not one single cause. History often celebrates conquerors, but the Harappans conquered something far greater: chaos. They proved that discipline, planning, cooperation, and innovation could build one of humanity's greatest civilizations. Their language is silent, their rulers remain unknown, their mysteries continue. Yet every brick they left behind whispers the same message. A great civilization is not remembered because it lasted forever, it is remembered because it changed the future forever.